are you guys doing? I'm here for the Djokovic versus Mensik quarterfinal of Shanghai. We're watching the GOAT take on the young kid coming up. I'm excited for this. I said even a couple matches ago, if we get Djokovic versus Mensik, I think it's going to be an incredible match. I think it could be a test for Novak. I think Mensik's going to be a bit tougher than some may give him credit, especially if they haven't seen him play very much. I think Mensik takes a lot from Novak in the way that he plays, honestly, has influenced him a lot, so I'm excited to watch it. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you're watching stuff. Very early for me, it's 6:38 a.m. So, hey, how's it going, William? Djokovic will win. I agree. Live, yes. Hello. Yeah, I'm gonna take Djokovic in 3 sets. I think it's gonna be a crazy match, though. I'm gonna say like 6-4, 7-5 Novak in the 3rd set. I don't think it'll be easy. That's my prediction. We'll see. I do have Novak winning, though. I think Mensik's gonna be a test, though. I really do think Mensik's gonna be a test because I like the way Mensik's been playing. Obviously, the big news in the tennis world is Rafa, so we got to talk about Rafa. Yeah, I was sad. It really reminded me of hearing about Roger Wicket. It's just surreal. Just Nadal and Federer, it's like you hear the news, but you already know that it's more than you can process within even like a day or two's time. So not everything has hit yet, but it's, I don't know. It just feels like his influence is bigger than him even playing. So like, even though he's putting down the racket, it's not like his legacy is like, his legacy is forever. Same thing with Roger. So their retirements, although it's sad, it almost has to be like a happy that it happened. And like that happiness that it happened will like prevail over any kind of sadness that it's leaving. But it's sad. So, I mean, Rafa is just such a vital athlete in just sport itself that it's almost kind of comical. And he's probably the most dominant athlete at any one tournament in sport history. So yeah, I mean, he's getting all the, I mean, I've seen very little hate or word, like there's a lot of words thrown at Rafa throughout his career. Yesterday just felt like an outpouring of just respect, which was cool. That's what it should be. But it is surreal. It's like, I don't know. A lot people have said that Nadal is going to retire like 10 or 15 years ago, and it was still surreal, which is a lot. Says a lot about Rafa. But this is the first meeting between Novak and Mensik, so no idea what to expect. It could end up being their only meeting or not. We'll see. Let me know predictions in the chat of what you think is going to happen. I already have a Djokovic will win. Let me know if you agree with that. You can be more specific. I have Novak in 3 sets. All right, so if you're for Mensik, let's go. I'm excited for this. This is a highly anticipated match for me as somebody who's very excited about Mensik. Forehand return goes out from Novak. 15-love for Jakub Mensik. Another serve coming from the Czech. I just realized, good tournament for Czech players, huh? With Mensik and with Mahac. I'm going to make sure I've got that right, but it's a double fault. But both those guys are Czech, right? So yeah, good tournament for Czech players. I wonder if that's ever happened in Masters 1000 history. I don't know who it would be. Berdych and who? Stepanek, maybe? Rasol? Doubt it. But Stepanek and Berdych getting to the quarters at the same time seems plausible, maybe. Backhand slice the backhand and Novak down the line, forehand to Mensik. Bit short, forehand Novak. Bit more attacking to the backhand Novak down the line. Forehand Mensik, the forehand to Djokovic, that's in the net, 40-15. Good stuff. I didn't realize Djokovic's record this year is as good as it is. I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, 27-15. I don't really have it memorized what's a great record in my head for a year outside of just like, if it's 57-9, that means you've had an amazing season. Like, that's obvious. Outside of that, I didn't really have, I don't have a great idea of what's the usual. I'd have to do the math on it in my head to really think about it. But that's just kind of what I was expecting. 32-8. That's much better. I guess it's just the high standards that I have with Novak that made it lower in my head. But that's like, just in regular terms, that's not a bad year at all. Which I guess kind of shows that we're near the end of the year. Novak is still, I think, number 3 in the world. So it kind of makes sense. It's just, it kind of took me aback for a second. Number 4 in the world, behind Zverev as well. But 32-8, that's at least 80%. That's like 80. It's exactly 80% win percentage. Forehand Novak cross court, forehand to Mensik, forehand slice of Novak, backhand to Mensik, backhand of Novak to the backhand of Mensik, backhand Novak, backhand of Mensik goes to the forehand of Novak, forehand Mensik, that goes out. 15 love for Djokovic. Mensik to me is one of the most impressive athletes out of any of the young guys coming up, and he has very few holes to poke in his game. I really like the head that he's got on his shoulders as well. I think he's got a good mentality. I like watching the kid a lot, and I'm excited to watch a full match against a test as big as Novak. Great shot from Novak right off the baseline, picked up forehand, the backhand of Mensik, backhand Djokovic, backhand of Mensik, backhand of Novak is up high, right on the baseline, backhand Djokovic again, the backhand of Mensik, that goes out. This is the first match that Djokovic is playing since learning that Nadal is retiring, which I don't know if it matters or means that much, but could take Novak aback a little bit to not have his greatest rival playing on the tour officially. Well, not yet. He'll play Davis Cup, but he'll no longer be in any more ATP events, etc. Backhand, that's in the net. That it makes a little bit more sense to me now also why Rafa accepted playing the 6-King Slam a little bit. Although maybe he would have anyway, but another chance to play with Carlos and with Novak and with all like the best players in the world, it kind of makes sense. So I guess it's good that that's happening. Backhand slice. That goes out. 1-1. I know we're watching a Djokovic match, but let me know how you felt seeing the Rafa news in the chat. Also, let me know your best memory of watching Nadal. Number 1 memory watching Rafa. Most enjoyable memory of seeing him play a match. Backhand Novak, that goes in the net. 15 love. This tournament's been a really good one for Novak after probably the best tennis he's played this year outside of the Olympics final. Best hardcore tennis he's played this year were the last few matches. Big serve from Mensik is an ace out wide, 30 love. Wow, that's a crazy stat. Mickelson, Kaboli, and Mensik. Djokovic has faced 3 different opponents who are 15 or more years younger than him in Shanghai. That's ridiculous. Forehand to Mensik. Backhand slice and Novak. Missed it long. Couple love holds for either guy. It's 2-1 for Jakub Mensik. Quicker courts of Shanghai will help out the serve. Make it more of a serving contest than anything else. Got to keep my train of thought going correctly at 6:48 a.m. What I ask? Greatest memory watching Nadal? Now I'm thinking, okay, greatest memory watching Rafa. You know what was a great memory of Rafa's for me for some reason? I have two that I would say more than anything personal memories watching Rafa. One is ATP Finals against Andy Murray in 2010. One of the best 3-set matches ever, for sure, in my opinion. That one. Third set tiebreaker. As much as I love Sinner and Alcaraz, I saw a lot of people saying stuff like that's the greatest 3-set match ever in Beijing. Some people disagree with me, but I'd even put like the Rafa and Andy match there above the Sinner Alcaraz match. Rafa Andy match was unbelievable. Those two guys were playing some of the best tennis going head to head. There's so many great points and moments throughout that match. But Rafa just always finding a way and digging deep, but getting it done over Murray, who is one of the best hardcore players in the world. And getting, I think, to the final of the ATP Finals that year for the first time. That was a good memory. Just Rafa playing incredible tennis. And the other one was also on hard courts, 2013 U.S. Open. I guess part of the reason my memories are hard court is because honestly, growing up, I liked watching hard courts way more than I liked watching clay courts. That's shifted a little bit now. I think I probably even slightly prefer clay now. Grass has always been my favorite. But yeah, that's the reason why that is. But 2013 U.S. Open, Rafa played the best hardcore tennis he ever played in his life at the U.S. Open. It was incredible. I think the flashiest hardcore tennis he ever played was probably at the 2009 Australian Open, but the most complete, best hardcore tennis he ever played was the 2013 U.S. Open. He found something that year on hard courts, and I think he got to like 13 finals that year. He won 10 titles. 2013 was an obnoxiously good year for Rafa. It doesn't get brought up as much as 08 or 2010 because he didn't win 3 out of the 4 majors, or he didn't win the Olympics, or beat Federer in the greatest match that anyone's ever seen in their lives. But 2013 might be the best year of Rafa's career. 2010, 2013, choose either one. Forehand, backhand Novak to the forehand of Mensik. Forehand Novak, the forehand of Mensik. The forehand of Mensik is falling a bit short. It's going to be rather attackable for Novak. That's exactly what's happening. Forehand again, rather short. Novak attacking, yeah. If you're giving him that much space in the court, then Djokovic is going to eat those forehands up. You need to find the length of the court against Novak, or he's gonna get on top of the baseline and just rush into the court and take away your time to hit the ball. Just you need to get Novak is going to find depth no matter where he is. Mensik, if he's on the baseline hitting forehands, he's got to get them deep in the court. Just period. All right, serve from the one and only Nole. Serve for an Mensik. That's in the net. 40-15. Hey, how's it going, David? It's happy to see cross-court tennis in the chat, you know? It's cool. Kind of hoping Djokovic finds a way this week so he can get his way to Turin. Yeah, that would be, yeah, I mean, I would love to see him go for, what would be an 8th title, I think, in Turin. And he would also try to tie Rogers' 10 finals in Turin. Yeah, it would be great to see him end the year on a bang, for sure, especially because he didn't win any slams this year, so no doubt. It's been a while since I've seen you in chat, so. Your scoreboard is not visible, by the way. Oh, geez. Thanks for bringing that up. That's my bad. Wasn't even looking there. Yeah, that's my bad. Hope your new adventures are going well, David. Yeah, echoed here as well. Hey, how's it going, Joe? Serve from Mensik. 15 love. Solid stuff from Mensik so far. He doesn't seem too nervous or rattled starting off. I mean, he's serving very confidently. He's not hitting very early unforced errors or anything. He's kind of just doing his own thing. Back in Mensik down the line for him, Novak. It's going to be a good learning experience no matter what. Forehand Mensik. The forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Mensik. Forehand of Djokovic. The backhand of Mensik. Backhand Djokovic. Backhand of Mensik. Inside out. What a shot. He's a talent, this kid. I'm on the record, or at least I'm putting myself on the record with this. If anybody that we currently have on tour catches up to Sinner and Alcaraz, which I don't think is going to happen, but if anybody does that, then my bet is on Jakub Mensik. I'll go on the record saying that. By far. By far. I don't think he will, but if anybody will, then that's who my bet is on. That goes out from Djokovic, so 40 love for Mensik. It's good to hear, David, as well. Yeah, hopefully you're doing well with all the stuff you're getting off to now. Hopefully you haven't forgotten about us, though. Don't forget about QualityShot. Forehand Djokovic, forehand Mensik, backhand Djokovic, forehand Mensik, the forehand of Novak. Missed it long, 3-2. David, how'd you feel about the Rafa news? Sad. Surreal. I was saying it earlier. It was like the Federer news where as soon as you hear it, you just know it's going to take more than like a day or two or even a few weeks to process what's going on. And to process that he's going to be out of the game. But I'm jealous of everybody who's got tickets to that tournament. Mensik, Mahac, or Lehechka, who wins the slam, or if any? Mensik wins a slam. I don't think either of the other two wins a slam. Gil picked Mensik in his under 23 draft, like number 1 and number 2. He rates him very highly. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Gil in that case. I think a lot of people are looking at Fonseca. I'm looking at Mensik way more than I'm looking at Fonseca, although I think Fonseca will be good as well. And in terms of Mahac or Lehechka, Mahac has such a good peak level that I think he'll get to a semifinal of a slam. If he has a good draw, he could get to a final. I don't think he'll win any. But I think he'll get to one semifinal. It's hard getting to a semifinal. I mean, Rublev and Demonor have not gone to semifinals. Korda has yet to get to a semifinal. Like, they're great players who have not gone to semis. So, and then who's the other one? Lehechka. I'm not that high on Lehechka. I think Lehechka is good, but if I'm making my best guess, I don't know if he even makes a semifinal of a slam. I'll say maybe he makes one semifinal. That might age terribly. I'm not currently that high on Lehechka. I mean, I think he's good, but he's just, I don't think he's going to get there. Although, I mean, he can play very well. I mean, like when he beat Rafa, he was playing a very good level. Rafa wasn't himself, but he played a good level. When he beat Rublev at Indian Wells, he was very strong off both sides. So he can play very well, but I don't know. There's something missing with Lehechka that I just feel like doesn't have that extra edge or X factor for me. But we'll see how that ages. Shot goes wide from Mensik, so 15 all. Yeah, David, let me know how you feel about Mensik as well, or about Fonseca, or about who you're most excited about of the younger guys. Do we think Runa is still gonna show up, or is he gonna stay number 20 in the world? I think he could, honestly, if he gets the right coaching and direction, then I feel like he could become a top 5 player in this next era easily, which is not a hot take, but that's where he should be. He's talented enough and complete enough of a player to do that. He just needs to get his head on straight and find the right direction in his career. Forehand, so the shot selection issues with Runa in the big moments in particular. Forehand volley. Novak put away. 30-15. Nice stuff there from Novak. I mean, Novak at this point in his career, when at his best, I mean, he's hitting the forehand and his volleys about as good as he ever has in his career. So, gotta respect that, if nothing else. It's good stuff too. I mean, especially if Mensik's going to give him opportunities to come forward. Like, it seems like he has a little bit so far. That's another one. Back in cross court, back in lob. Smash Novak's a good smash from Novak. 40-15. I would be surprised if Rafa exiting the tour has no effect on Novak. It would seem quite odd to me if it has no effect. If it has an unseeable effect, like it's so small it's unseeable, that's a different question. But it would be hard for me to believe that Novak could play 20 years of his career, 60 matches against his greatest rival, and then suddenly his greatest rival is not on the tour and that doesn't have any kind of mental effect on him. It would be hard for me to believe that, honestly. So I think I'll have some effect. Oh, wow, challenge. It was not even close to being in. Terrible call. Good challenge. It didn't look in when it was hit. I was like, wait, that was in? Serve from Novak. Second serve. Out wide. Forehand. That's on top of the net. Doesn't matter anyway. 3-3. Yeah, sad, shocking at first, but it's going to happen at some point. Exactly. He's got to protect his body at some point. He'll definitely have a lot of happiness in retirement with his family. Yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, he's going to have happiness with whatever he decides to do. He's got a great work ethic. He's a great athlete. Smart guy. Very seemingly genuine guy. Who is very likable and connects with people well. So he's going to have happiness moving forward. It's just sad because tennis was, oh, wow, what a pass from Novak. It's his specialty. I don't get it when people say Novak doesn't have a signature shot. Like his open stance, sliding backhand is right there, particularly for passing shots like that one. Like, how is that not a signature shot? But yeah, I think Rafa, he was so special in tennis that it just makes it sad that we're never gonna, I mean, not just Rafa's leaving, we're never gonna have another Rafa again. No one even resembling a Rafa. He was such a unique player. Like, for what it's worth, I'm the biggest Federer fan around, but we had baby Federer accusations and baby Federers come up. Like, there's a lot of comparisons to Dimitrov to Federer. There's some comparisons with Musetti even to Federer. Some comparisons with even Sinner's been compared to Federer in some way. Alcaraz has been compared to Federer in some way. But for Rafa, in terms of the way that he played, it's just, you don't get another player like Rafa. He might be the most unique player in history, like the most unreplaceable player in history in so many ways. It's good doing these live streams because I can talk for a long time and then I get thoughts out and articulate things that I wouldn't have otherwise necessarily talking about tennis. Serve down the tee, forehand Mensik, down the line, good shot. Great shot from Mensik under a little bit of trouble and pressure down 15-30. But yeah, I think Rafa is completely unreplaceable. Hell of a shot. Great explosive power in that one. Forehand, return. Very good. Wow, right on the line. Couldn't cut it any closer, Mensik, but that's what you have to do against Novak. (40-30). Novak nearly got it, but not quite. It's too big of an ask. Novak knew it. Maybe 15 years ago, Novak could have gotten that shot, but not now. Second serve coming here from Mensik. He might be faking everybody out, but he doesn't look nervous to me, Mensik, at all. Forehand to the backhand of Mensik. Forehand of Novak. Backhand slice. Mensik just missed it wide. It's a challenge, which makes sense. It was close. Leoni in the chair. The GOAT. Oh, it was very close. Millimeter out. Doesn't get closer. That was what a sick slice. It was so close. It was impressive. The fact that he got it that close. Deuce. I was going Sean. Medvedev is equally unique in my opinion. Interesting take. Have to think about it. Yeah, Medvedev is an enigma. Not only the way he hits the ball, but the fact that the way he plays, the fact that he's 6'6" and he's so quick on the court. Backhand of Djokovic, the backhand of Mensik. Backhand Djokovic again to the backhand of Mensik. That's in the net. Yeah, Medvedev's also unique, no doubt. Isner is also fairly unique for obvious reasons, although you could compare him to players like Karlovic. It's hard to really define unique in the correct way. Federer is up there, no doubt. Alcaraz. Serve. Perfect ace from Mensik. That's strong stuff. Gutsy as well. Novak's hit some good backhand returns, but it was a good shot to get that ace out wide. Saved a break point. Mensik 66% of first serves in is good. Very good. Very, very good. First serve hits the tape and goes out. Back and cross court. Oh, weird shot. Novak, what a crafty slice from Novak. Novak is so funny. Just seeing Novak get frustrated after winning points is so funny to me every time. We're not going to have another Novak again as well. Backhand goes out. Deuce. I can't get a comment out of my head the last couple weeks. And I say this as a person who's a fan of Novak and somebody who thinks that Novak at least seems like, for the most part, is a good guy. Like, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He's always very nice with other players on court. But I saw a comment I can't get out of my head. Backhand to backhand Djokovic, volley Mensik, put away. I have a comment I can't get out of my head that made me laugh, which is, we're not going to have a comically good villain like Novak in tennis again. And to be honest, it kind of excuse me. It kind of makes sense just because Federer and Nadal were like two of the most popular athletes of any sport ever, with like the most popular rivalry ever. And then Novak comes along and he does a lot of things that a lot of people disliked for whatever reason. A lot of people liked, but a lot of people disliked. Just the way he reacts to the points, etc. And there's a lot of other stuff, but yeah, it is funny to think about it. Like, I don't know, but Novak likes playing that villain role when crowds are against him. I don't know. It's funny. Novak's funny. Serve from Mensik. Forehand, backhand Mensik to the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Mensik. Inside out, backhand Djokovic. Forehand Mensik. Again, inside out, backhand slice. Novak somehow got that. Forehand Djokovic again cross court. This guy's so fast at 37. Backhand cross court. Back into Mensik. Forehand Djokovic. That's in the net. Jeez, man. Novak can still run at 37. Can somebody check this guy's birth certificate? Check that he's 37 years old. He's not faking it. What a long game, exactly. It's kind of irritating how far you are behind you are, Anthony. Yeah, sorry about that, Snow Hill, but the website I used to use for hopefully it's still good enough that I'm still watching it live, but Tennis TV and is so far behind for whatever reason. But it's all caught up. It's live on Tennis TV, which is still behind for stupid reason. I'll try to see if I can find another site to watch this stuff so that it matches up more evenly, but working with what I've got for now, this is the option that I have to watch it live for now. So Vantage Mensik at 3-3. I'm trying to not look at like the script, whatever. Anyway. All right, advantage here for Mensik. Serve for him. Backhand Djokovic. Forehand to Mensik. Goes by Novak. Is very good. Gets the 4-3. Great stuff from Mensik. Saving break points. Very clutch when it matters the most. Mensik looks completely unbothered by the situation. Almost reminds me a bit of Alcaraz in Madrid. Which is a good sign for him. Gasquet feels unique as well. Okay, I won't list every player. Medvedev is a good shout, though. And Medvedev makes sense to me to say he's the most unique player. But I still kind of want to take Rafa. His forehand is so insane. Just the way it looks, Rafa. There's no other shot ever like Rafa's forehand. It is so... You can't miss it. Like, anybody who doesn't even watch tennis watches his forehand is like that's a crazy shot. Also just Rafa's mentality on the court. Just time and time again after injury, the passion that he brought to the sport, like his comebacks, like against Medvedev. So Medvedev is up there. He might be number 2, but I'm still going to go with Rafa number 1 just for completely irreplaceable players. But those are good shouts, though. Great Will Mensik, yeah. Dustin Brown is up there for sure. Fabrice Santoro. Look up Fabrice Santoro if don't know who I'm referring to. Michael Lodra. Florian Mayer. Or Meyer. Who else? In terms of technique, Daniel indeed is the most unique. I think his forehand must require an incredibly strong arm. Most players would wear their arm out trying it. Exactly. It's just you can't replace that forehand. I'd probably agree in general technique across all shots. Medvedev is the more unique. I'll say that. So that's true. But it's also just Rafa's mentality. There's something about Rafa that you just can't replace the dude. $30 love for Djokovic here. Serve out wide, forehand to Mensik. Forehand Novak goes wide, 30-15. Simple unforced error there. Forehand Novak to the forehand to Mensik. That goes out. Thing is, Murray's gone. Federer's gone. Nadal is about to be gone. But yeah, I mean, Wawrinka is still there. Monfils is still there. Those are really like the only. Ferrer's gone. Berdych is gone. Song is gone. Gasquet's about to be gone. Simone is gone. Like, I don't know. Like, who's left? Like I guess like Nishkor, Raonic, Dimitrov, if you include those guys. But I'm not really talking about those guys. Del Potro's gone. Of all the like classic guys, like Monfils and Wawrinka are like the only two left. Djokovic with a good hold, by the way. So I just hope that those two don't flinch for the next little bit, and they don't move, don't retire. Backhand Novak, ran from the baseline, backhand to the backhand of Mensik, backhand Novak slice, the backhand slice of Mensik, sliced into the net. Love 15. So far, match is meeting expectations. If Mensik can, he might want to try to implement a few more things like a drop shot or coming to net. He's not implementing that much variety right now. And Novak is kind of starting to feel out Mensik's patterns a little bit. Swing volley put away from Mensik. Easy. 15-all. Cilic. Cilic is unique. You know who's unique is Gulbis. With frickin' puts his hands in front of his forehand like he's doing the stop motion. Like he's telling the opponent to stop. Like that's a unique motion. Gulbis. I'm sure we're forgetting. Like there are other players. Fabrice Santoro has to be up there in terms of uniqueness. To be honest, he should be higher in the conversation. I think. Like I might put him ahead of Rafa. If we're just talking pure uniqueness and being irreplaceable as a player, like Santoro might take the cake for me. In fact, I think I'll put Santoro number 1. That guy was just like, he's ridiculous. The fact that he even existed as a player. Like he was like number 16 in the world. He beat all the top players and he played the most insane game that anyone has ever played in tennis, period. Professional or not. He would two hands both sides, slicing like crazy, coming to net like crazy, trick shots like crazy. Like Santoro was just like, he shouldn't have been real. Forehand Novak, that's in the net, 30-all. I meant Chilch for the old guard. That was stupid on my part. Chilch for the old guard. Yeah, Chilch is still playing. I forgot about him. Yeah, that was stupid on my part. It's like he played like one tournament, right? In the last like year or so, but I guess he's still around and active. Schwartzman is technically still playing, but he's about to retire. Yeah, Cilic is another one though. It's not as beloved as Wawrinka or Gale, but hey, I'm a fan of Cilic. Backhand of Novak in the net. Novak fans are not going to be happy about his couple of unforced errors off the backhand side, Novak now. He's kind of not hurting Mensik that much, not as much as he would want to be. Mensik is serving very well so far. He's got a great serve. Backhand down the line, redirected well. Forehand, is ridiculous. Athleticism from Mensik. Just look casual, but what athleticism sliding into that forehand. That's what these new guys are doing so casually. That's just crazy. Sliding on the hard court. Looking at the big innovator of that in Novak Djokovic on the other side. But I thought that was Stepnik for a second, which would kind of make sense. In the crowd, I thought maybe it was a Mensik's box, but it's not. Just a guy who looks like him. But Mensik's one of the very best at it, at sliding on a hard court. He's very impressive at doing so. Fun to watch, Mensik. Got to the semifinals of, I'd like to say Doha earlier this year, beat Monfils in the semifinals there. Great ace out wide from Jakub. So he gets to advantage. Chill, it's super conventional technique. LOL. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't think he has the most conventional though. Like I don't think he has the most conventional, but it's definitely not up there with any of the other players that we were saying. And Gasquet was a good shot just for his forehand. His backhand is pretty regular technique. It's just amazing. His forehand is much more silly. And if he had better forehand technique, he could have been like won the big three. Forehand and Mensik, that goes long. A lot of long games so far. It feels like this set's been going on for like 2 hours. How much have we played already? 37 minutes? I don't know why. It feels like longer. Serve down the tees, very good. Thing about Chilich is he had a very big like backswing, very direct, just big backswing, and he got prepared for balls like very early. I felt like always, with like setting up his strokes, especially off the back end. But for the most part, pretty conventional. I think Santoro, Medvedev, and Rafa are pretty good shouts for what we were talking about. Forehand chip from Novak back into Mensik, cross court, back in Novak, right on the baseline, or at least it was called on the baseline. Backhand, that's a net cord from Djokovic, gets lucky. We're showing a lot of frustration because he's not been playing his best tennis yet, Novak, but hits the net cord. I would be curious about that ball that Novak hit on the baseline. I wouldn't be surprised if, or I don't know. It looked out to me, but it maybe was in. Yeah, it looked close there too on the slow-mo replay, but it's probably in. Yeah, a lot of luck there from Novak because he mishit that forehand as well. Like by all means, he didn't hit that well. Second serve from Mensik. Break point for Djokovic. Back in Novak. Back into Mensik. Inside out. Forehand Novak goes cross court. A lot of depth on it. That goes out off the forehand. Goes long. Whole break of serve for Novak Djokovic. First break of the match. Do you think Nole will be in Malaga for Rafa's retirement? Yeah, he said he'll be there. Yes. One incredible point rally by Novak. Nice. Yeah, Novak will be there, and he did say he was going to be there. Yeah, I mean, I think Novak very clearly wants to have some kind of relationship and association with Rafa. That I don't know. It seems very clear to me. He's constantly being very nice with Rafa and like saying, "I hope we can have multiple conversations." When we're finished with our careers and that we can talk to each other about everything that happened. Only they know if it's reciprocated by Rafa or not, etc. But it's clear to me that Novak wants to stay close in some shape or form with Rafa, in which they cannot, they're not hateful towards each other, where they're nice to each other despite a long rivalry of sport. But I think at the end of the day, you gain a lot of respect for somebody that great when you play them that many times. You're able to win yourself many times. Like the fact that their head-to-head is 31-29, and the fact that Novak has 24 slams and Rafa has 22 is so crazy. Because I just kind of put two and two together. But if Rafa won any of the Grand Slam finals that he lost, then the slams would be exactly tied in theory. And also, their head-to-head would be exactly tied 30-all. It would be 30-30. And it would be 23-23. I saw the 23-23 comment was said by somebody else. I saw that yesterday, but I only put two and two together that both things would be tied had any of their what any of their slam finals gone Rafa's way instead of Novak. So basically, I mean, in theory, if Rafa made that backhand down the line in the Australian Open in 2012 at like 4-2 in the fifth, specific moment to bring up, but if he made that backhand down the line, which by all means he should have made, then very likely we could be exactly tied in both regards, in theory. So the fact that they were so close as rivals, like if you're a Novak fan hating on Rafa or a Rafa fan hating on Novak, I just think you're silly either way. Same thing goes for Roger involved in there as well. Serve here from Djokovic. By the way, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you're new joining in. Serve here from Djokovic. Serb serves into the check. It's forehand. Forehand. Novak completely mishit that. Deja vu to 11 years ago, where he was doing weird movements on the court against Del Potro in Shanghai. Did one of those over there too. Points won on serve. Mensik is 26 for 41. That's just the fourth point Novak's lost on serve. Serve down T4, and Mensik is a fantastic return of serve. Backhand cross court to the backhand of Djokovic. Good depth on it. Backhand inside out. Forehand of Mensik cross court. Forehand of Novak. Forehand of he had the down the line. Great rally there, but he had that down the line too. Great experience to learn from for Mensik no matter what happens today. He had that down the line. He caught it late and he slid a little bit and he waited too long to hit it and it got too low. Bad first serve from Novak. I'm expecting the second serve might not be much better because that's often how it happens. Second serve here from Djokovic. You can clearly see Novak trying to find a service rhythm here, just the way he's even bouncing the balls. Yeah, it's a let there. Appreciate everybody tuning in so far. Let's keep it going, keep it growing. The stream. Serve out wide, forehand Mensik, backhand Djokovic, cross court, backhand slice of Mensik. Forehand Novak, bad approach, backhand volley, backhand pass. Novak is there with the volley. Terrible approach from Novak. Mensik should have done more at the first shot. 30-15. Yeah, Mensik should have gone down the line as well, honestly. Serve. Novak just looking out of something's off with Nole. In general, his level is lower than it was the last couple of days. Being tested more, but he's also his level's lower. Go ahead. A great return off the forehand. Backhand goes out, 30 all. It's going to be a crucial point because I kind of don't even think Mensik's out of the set yet. I just feel like Novak won that one of the break points. He how do I put it? Like, it felt like Mensik could have been at 5-4 just as easily as he could have been down 5-4. Novak isn't looking at his best right now. If Mensik could get to break point, that could be a big thing for Mensik. Backhand deep in the court off the return. Backhand Mensik cross court. Backhand Djokovic going backhand to backhand. Now forehand from Djokovic. Drop shots in the net. I could tell right away that it was no good. 30-40. One of the big moments in the span of a tennis match about to happen right here at 30-40. Mensik with his first break point. What can he do with it? Forehand to Mensik. Backhand Djokovic way up high. Forehand Mensik. Backhand Novak's in the net. Let's go. 5-5. I like the reaction too from Mensik. Just didn't go crazy. Like the set's not over yet. Like he's back in the hunt. 5-5. Let's go. Good showing from Mensik so far. Hey, how's it going, H? Cameron Norrie at 6 in the Rowan Challenger quarterfinal, flat back and go best back in the ATP. Yeah, yeah. That's I always make the joke with my friends who follow tennis that Cameron Norrie is the GOAT just because it's funny to say. He's on the road to world number 1. Does Mensik have a break point? Yeah. How's it going, MJ? Hello, hello. Yeah, Harley, I can see you. All right, 15 love Mensik. Serve now Novak. Goes long. So wasn't now 40 love for Mensik. 46% of first serves unreturned is a crazy stat. Yeah, it's an ace. Terrible call, right? Yeah, bad call there. I mean, you have Leoni and you have the line judge, and that's called out. I mean, Mensik went to the chair, like, yeah, I won the point. So, sometimes I feel like you'd be better off having the players call their lines. I mean, they do this every day. They know and they care about it more than anybody. They know when a ball is in or out. Like, sometimes I feel like the players calling their own balls, that if it wasn't for cheating, would almost be better than the line judges. Jacob Fernley is so good, it's unreal. Interesting. I haven't really watched him play very much. I saw some of his match against Novak at Wimbledon, but not that much even. These Asian matches are hard to follow. 12-hour difference. Yeah, exactly. There's no live stream. This is play-by-play. Anthony, as if players will be fair in calling the balls. Well, yeah, no, I know. You're not a transparent commentator? I don't know what you mean. Did you see his match against Quentin Hallis? No. I haven't really been watching but he's playing like a challenger. Oh, that wasn't now. Yeah, he's beat Travaglia, he's beaten Donnet, whoever that is. Heard of Travaglia, I haven't seen Donnet's name before. YouTube doesn't allow it, Terry, but Anthony's doing play-by-play commentary. Yeah, exactly. All right, serve here coming from Djokovic. We could be going to a tiebreak here. Biggest test of the tournament for Djokovic so far. This is what I wanted out of this match for sure. I mean, these line calls, because I think that was in too, probably. Exact same shot as Mensik hit off the serve. Oh, it's out. Okay. Good that it's out. Novak looked sure about it. Serve coming here from Joker. Forehand to Mensik. Forehand to Novak. Forehand Mensik is a great shot. Love 15. Hell of a shot from Mensik. Very impressive young talent, Mensik. He's won 8 consecutive points. That's a crazy stat. If you okay, here's the deal. If you ever win 8 consecutive points against Djokovic, you're the real deal. Period. Serve, forehand shank. That goes wide. 15 all. See how Novak can do here. He's got to know that Mensik is a stern test here. He's got to step up his level, get some free points off the serve like there. Back in return is good. Forehand to Mensik. Goes long. 15. I like seeing Novak sprint up to the net as well. I will say Mensik very likely moves better at this point than Novak. Novak still moves better than a good majority of the tour, but I don't think Novak wants to necessarily outlast Mensik in physical rallies. I don't necessarily think that would be the best thing for Novak. He's 98th rank. Okay, got it. There's also no live stream in China. It's crazy. That's wild. And that's unfortunate. Yeah, this is just play-by-play commentary. I'd show the match if I could, but we cannot do that. So yeah, this channel is just play-by-play commentary. All right, let me know what you think is going to be the score in this tiebreaker. Who's going to win it? I'm going to go with Mensik. I think Mensik's got it. I'm going to go with Mensik 7-5. Let me know in the chat who you think is going to win tiebreaker. What's going to be a score? Whoever gets the closest, I'll shout you out in the chat. I'm going with Jakub. Serve Mensik goes long. 53 minutes of play, long first set. That's a double fault. Double fault. He's got 6 opportunities to get the mini break back. He just won 8 consecutive points, so it's not out of the question. All right. Come on. See what Novak can do. He needs this or he would like to win this tiebreaker after just serving for the match at 5-4. Doesn't need it, but he would like it. 2-0 Djokovic. Djokovic's stats after winning the first set are quite strong, particularly this year. Serve Novak. Down the tee. Forehand of Novak cross court. Forehand of Mensik. It's a chance for Mensik here. I could have gone down the line there, Mensik, I felt like. Now it goes down the line, but it's too late. If he went down the line on the one before that, he would have been good, but he waited too long, and Novak, I don't know. It just, he could have gone that one too, but I don't know. 3-0 for Djokovic. He had good spacing on the one before. Forehand Mensik. Inside, what a ridiculous point. Ridiculous shot from Novak, then a ridiculous shot from Mensik right off his heels with a forehand inside out. Mensik's forehand inside out is really splendid. Serve here from Jakub. Forehand to Djokovic. That goes long. 3-2. Your stream is about 20 seconds behind the live play, I think. Yeah, I mean, I just can't do anything about it because it's probably just the difference between America and China, but this is live on Tennis TV. This is up to date on Tennis TV, so that's just the reason for that. But I'm watching it live, but for whatever reason, it's still, I think, just like slightly behind. But I don't think it's that much, but it is annoying. Serve here from Novak. First serve goes wide. Novak does look a bit, I don't know, like he's like almost breathless at times, which is kind of strange, but not first time I've seen that with Novak. Big first serve down the tee. Second serve, I should say. Backhand, cross court, back into Mensik, back in Djokovic. That's in the net. 3-3. Mensik's back in business. Djokovic just looks like tired, which definitely means Novak is going to win. It's like 7-6 in the third, but If Novak's tired, that means that you're screwed. Or if Novak looks tired, that means that you're screwed. But Novak just all out of sorts. When Novak is just like mental, I've said this before, but when Novak is like mentally just not quite in that zone, then he starts having these weird movements on the court. I'll be honest, I kind of relate to it a little bit because when I play, I try to get into this like kind of mental zone as well. And if I'm out of it, then I can kind of start getting a bit weird as well. But Novak is like a very funny extreme version of it. Serve from Djokovic. It's in the net. Serve is all out of sorts. Chance for Mensik. Sense some weakness and pounce on the prey that is the 24-time Grand Slam champion in front of him. It's a double fault, 4-3. Are you saying Mensik moves better than Novak despite seeing Olympics final? I don't know. I think at this point, it's possible. To be honest, I don't. I mean, I think Novak in general in his career is a far better mover because I think he has an argument for being the best mover ever. He's certainly one of the best movers. Wow, it's a terrible forehand miss from Mensik. That's the 4-4. But Mensik is so impressive moving on the hard court. I don't know. I just think in general when Novak plays these younger guys, he doesn't want to. I don't know. I don't think necessarily. What I'm trying to say is I don't think that. I think we might have to adapt our brains into realizing Novak's 37. He's not still the best, like a top 2 or 3 best mover in the world. Like for sure, De Minaur, Alcaraz, and Musetti are better movers than Novak at this point. There's no doubt about that. So I think we just have to adapt the way we think a little bit. The Olympics and Shanghai are 2 different tournaments. That's also true. I also feel like Novak's movement in the Olympics final wasn't as necessarily impressive as his ball striking, to be honest. Serve here from Novak, down the tee, forehand to Mensik, forehand to Djokovic, back into Mensik, cross court to the backhand of Djokovic, back in Mensik, back in Novak, back in Mensik again, to backhand Djokovic, forehand Mensik, forehand of Djokovic, that goes out. Wow. When do you see Novak lose 6 out of 7 straight points? This is right after he lost 8 consecutive points. I mean, Djokovic has lost, like, I don't know, like at least like 15 of the last like 21 points or something crazy. I'd like to know the exact stat at this point, but wow, 2 set points for Mensik. Serve down T, forehand Djokovic, forehand Mensik, forehand Djokovic, that's in the net. Mensik takes the first set, 7-4. Great showing from Mensik. And that's why I said Mensik's going to be a real test for Novak. I had him winning a set. Seven, 6. This is dangerous territory. Novak is not playing as freely as the previous 2 rounds. Not even close. It's not a level Novak will be happy about. And he doesn't look physically great, Novak, to be fair. He looks like he's physically not like he usually is. But that's part of the game. That's part of him being 37 years old and et cetera, et cetera. The stats aren't exceptional for either player. I don't think either player played out of their head. I mean, there were errors sprayed a little bit by both, but listen, I mean, there are good stats as well. I mean, both of them hit 70+% first serves in, which is great. And they won 76% of first serve points. Djokovic, 85% of first serve points won for Mensik. Mensik only 29% of second serve points won, which is not unusual with Novak. So Mensik will want to keep getting that first serve in, but yeah, still, I felt like it was a good first set. A Mensik versus Sinner final could be a good one to see where Mensik level's at. Absolutely, 100%. I'm not discounting Mahac either. Tommy Paul saw the future, and I'm not gonna be the one to disagree with Tommy Paul. I'm not afraid to say it. Sometimes I just say something that I feel like would be funny to say. But Tommy Paul said to Mahac at the net, like, go on, win this tournament, and that he thinks that he will, or that at least he was saying that to encourage him, which is nice. And I think it shows that Tommy Paul knew that he was about to play Alcaraz Mahac, and Tommy Paul knows how tough Alcaraz can be. So for Paul to say that he thinks Mahac can beat him, and Sinner and Djokovic, says a lot. And Mahac has been playing unbelievable. He's been playing unbelievable. So I'm not going to discount Mahac, but I think especially Mensik can win. I mean, it's turning out to be quite an interesting tournament. If it's Sinner, Mahac, Mensik, right? Or is it Mahac versus Sinner in the court? No, it's Mahac Sinner in the quarterfinal, so it can't be. Wait, no, I'm confused. Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. Sinner did destroy Mahac in Miami earlier this year, but Sinner loves Miami. Sinner in Miami is just like a cheat code. Sinner in Miami is like Alcaraz at Indian Wells. How easily do people discount Sinner, Mahac, assuming Sinner to be in the final? Yeah, I would not discount him. Why is he not being aggressive? I don't get that. Very loose. Yeah, I guess he was playing more loose towards the end. He was playing aggressive for some of that set, particularly at the start. But yeah, that tiebreaker, just the wheels fell off. Backhand slice, the backhand to Mensik, backhand slice Djokovic again. Backhand to Mensik cross court, backhand Novak down the line. So good from Djokovic. I'll say this. I think the stat is that Novak has lost every single match this year. Not to discourage Novak fans, but I think Novak has lost every single match this year where he lost the first set. I'm pretty sure that's the stat. It's something like he's won every single match where he's won the first set. He's lost every single match where he's lost the first set, or at least very close to that. Like, there are like very, very, very few exceptions. I'm gonna look at Novak's record to check, but backhand of Novak to the backhand of Mensik down the line for of Novak. Backhand Mensik again for Novak. It's a challenge from Mensik. It's called in. It looked out to me, but I mean, it's so far out. What are we doing? Line judge has to be on it. Players don't have to be worrying about that. Line judge has got to be on it. That's one of the worst calls. That was a horrific call. The line calls today are kind of pissing me off. Like, we got to figure something out. Forehand goes out. 30-15. Okay, so yeah, Sinner Mahac semifinal. Fritz is in the semis, and then yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm not discounting Fritz totally either. I mean, Fritz has had let's be honest, he's had a pretty easy draw relatively, but he's playing a strong ball. Like, Fritz is playing really well, so poor Fritz, yeah. Except for Popperin at Wimbledon. You can't discourage Novak fans so easily when I'm there. Fair enough. Serve Novak. Back in Mensik. Back in Djokovic. Forehand to Mensik. Forehand to Djokovic. Back into Mensik. That's in the net. 1-0 Djokovic. All right, let me look at Djokovic's record this year. This is one of my favorite things to do is just look at different stats and stuff for some reason. I don't know why. But putting things into like different groups and categorizing different things and charting different things is like but making different lists and stuff like that, that's always been fun to me. I want to I'm about to embark on a big project. I am going to rank every single Big 3 match in terms of quality, all 150. I'm going to rank them from best to worst in my subjective opinion. I'm about to embark on that big project. My goal is to have it done by November 24th, which is the end of Davis Cup, when Nadal will retire. So anyway, but I like making lists like that. I like looking at tennis stats, stuff like that. But that should be a fun project to do. So I'm looking at Novak's record, right? So yeah, he lost first set to Demonor, lost that. Lost first set to Sinner, lost that. Didn't lose any other first sets there. It's got to be an easier way to do this that I'm not thinking of. Yeah, Nardi. Backhand the net from Mensik, 15 all. Yeah, so far it's accurate. Wins the first set, he wins. Loses the first set, he loses. Yeah, it remains to be accurate, even up to Wimbledon. No, okay, so yeah, Popper at Wimbledon. Okay, so for some reason I thought that wasn't the case, but it was, yeah. Sorry, I'm probably not as sharp as I usually am doing the stream, to be honest, because it is very early, and probably didn't get as much sleep as I would have wanted, but it's all right. Forehand, cross court, forehand to Mensik, forehand to Novak, forehand to Mensik down the line, goes out. 15-30, chance for Djokovic to get a strong start to the second set. So is it accurate though outside of that? Yeah, so okay, that's the one exception then. That's the one exception. So almost always when Novak has not whatever I said. When he loses the first set, he loses. When he wins the first set, he wins. For him, Novak, for him, Mensik, for him, Novak, down the line, back in Mensik, back in Djokovic, back into Mensik, back in Djokovic, cross court, back into Mensik, forehand Djokovic, hits the tape, goes over. What a rally! Forehand winner, 30 all. Mensik impressing. And by the way, the one exception to that rule beat Novak in a huge upset in the very next Grand Slam. So maybe Novak doesn't want to come back against Mensik because Mensik's gonna beat him at whatever next tournament. 17-shot rally, clearly the longest of the match. Could feel it just watching it. Forehand of Novak, forehand of Mensik. He's been redirecting it down the line a lot. Novak's going to come to expect that. Backhand cross court to the backhand Djokovic, backhand of Mensik down the line. Forehand Novak, very spinny. Spinny back from Mensik. Forehand much flatter from Novak. Forehand again, cross court. Backhand Djokovic, the backhand of Mensik sliced into the net. 30-40. Whew. Got to take a breather after all that. After saying all that. How will you do that without seeing the full matches? Yeah, I'm just looking at the scores on his ATP website. Mensik is such a talent, huge talent, huge talent. Very impressing a lot. He got out some big moments, Mensik, in the first set by hitting an ace out wide. He goes for it, but doesn't get it. Back in Novak, forehand to Mensik, forehand to Djokovic, forehand to Mensik, cross court, forehand to Novak, back into Mensik down the line, forehand Djokovic, forehand to Mensik, inside out, back in Djokovic, another long rally, forehand to Mensik, forehand to Djokovic down the line, drop shot, oh, redrop into the net, that's 4 for Mensik, and Djokovic breaks for 2-0. Some lung-busting rallies, and Novak, who's like, I don't even know how much older he is than Mensik, but like 18 years older or whatever, wins out the lung-busting rallies. He's up at break. How's it going, Faison? What a game by Novak, yeah. That would make a good book for tennis enthusiasts. Yeah. Oh, how will I do the big three matches. So yeah, I'll look up highlights and like different news articles talking about the matches, and then I'll just do my best with that. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I thought about it. If that's like I've got like 45 days to get that done, which is approximately, if I do like 3 matches a day or like a little bit more, I could get it done by the end. And then ranking them as I go along. It'll be work, but it could be fun as well in some way. So that's my goal, to do that as a project. What's your thoughts on no more line judges at Wimbledon next year? Yeah, it's great. So good. I can't wait to get out of these terrible calls that I've seen today. It's just like, yeah, we have the Hawkeye technology. It's being used anyway. Like, let's just get on with it. If you want to know my perspective, whatever 3mm margin, it's way better anyway. Backhand down the line, goes wide, 30 love. It just seems silly to me. I mean, clay courts is another thing. If I don't know the exact, I need to look more into it. But like Wimbledon, yeah, let's just get on with it. Yeah, from my perspective, I think everything should have that Hawkeye automatic. Serve out wide. That's great. 40 love. I mean, you either trust that system or not, but it's being used and implemented anyway. Serve is wide from Novak. My prediction at the start of the match was 7-5 in the third for Novak. So we'll see what happens. 3-0. I said a couple rounds ago, I think if we get Novak versus Mensik, it's going to be a classic. And I have that as proof on live stream. But we'll see how this one ends up. How's it going, Thashang? First time here on this channel. Subscribe to you, definitely, brother. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for joining in. Hell yeah. I wish Djokovic win. Yesterday I lost my parlay with Alcaraz. That would be rough, losing it with Alcaraz and Novak. That's like if at the US Open you picked Alcaraz and Djokovic, then they lose to freaking Botic, Van de Zandschulp, and Alexei Poprin. This would be kind of similar in some ways. We'll see. I meant how you will rank every big three match. Yeah, I'm just really not on my game today with realizing what y'all are saying in the chat, but it's fully my fault, not you guys. French Open want us inspecting clay dispersion instead. Yes, that's yeah. I'll have challenges for other stuff. I think that yeah, you're making a joke, but I think we could have challenges for like double bounces and stuff. Like we should. I guess that's already been implemented at the U.S. Open, so that's good. But there should be challenges for like lets also, in my opinion. Maybe like 1 per set or something. Challenge a let. Challenge for a foot fault for sure makes sense. Challenge for clay dispersion, I doubt it, but stranger things have happened. You can say stranger things have happened to literally almost anything, and it will be true. Because so many things happen. 15 love for Mensik. Like, somebody could say, like, anything that's weird and be like, hey, stranger things have happened. It's like, yeah. Like, as long as there's one thing that's stranger. Like, I'm just gonna start saying that for anything that's weird. I'm gonna find the weirdest thing that's ever happened, and then I'm just gonna say stranger things have happened, and then recite that. Just say stranger things have happened. This so and so climbed this mountain, and it was crazy. Backhand drop shot. Novak, terrible drop shot. Didn't even make the net. Unusual. Novak's level has not been good for his standards. It's a good thing to say if you don't care what someone's saying to you. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of nodding, just laugh, say like, "Oh yeah, man, I totally agree." It's like, what do you mean you totally agree? I just told you I lost my job. Totally agree. It's just the casual responses you have when you're listening to somebody. Anthony with lack of sleep versus normal Anthony. Normal Anthony 16060. Snail, you're totally right. Unironically true. No, I'm like I'm just gonna be upfront with you guys. I'm a little out of it, but we're all good. I'm just tired. I'm not like hungover or something. So I'm doing better than I could be doing. Back and down the line, back in Mensik. Back in Djokovic, back in Mensik, cross court, back in Djokovic. That goes out, 40-30. Game point for one Jakub Mensik. It's fine, at least you're doing the stream. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. Sometimes when you're in a conversation, you just have to pretend that you know what's going on. Second double fall of the game for Mensik. This could be a bagel set. Has Novak ever won a bagel but lost the match? I kind of feel like maybe he hasn't. Not to say that that's going to happen. Oh, he has. He did at Paris against Sam Querrey. Or was it Shanghai? No, Paris, I think. Beat Sam Querrey. It was up like 6-0, 2-0. And then Querrey came back and won the match in a ridiculous upset. That was one of the weirdest things ever. Djokovic, it was Halloween. Novak came onto the court in a Darth Vader mask, destroying, bulldozing over Querrey 6-0, 2-0. Querrey somehow turns it around. Forehand to Mensik. It's a shank. Forehand. Good serve from Mensik. Some good shot making from Mensik as well. He just hit a great backhand behind Novak as he was running the other way. It was a good shot. And Novak was clapping for it too, which you don't always see. Means it was good. Forehand return goes long from Novak. Backhand, forehand of Novak, cross court, great angle, forehand. That goes long. 15 love for Djokovic. Backhand, Novak, back into Mensik. Forehand, Novak's another great shot cross court off the forehand down the line. It's a perfect tennis point by Djokovic. Serve down the tee. Forehand, Djokovic. Forehand, slice. Forehand, Novak. Forehand, Mensik. Lob. Ah, it's in. Great shot. 315. Such a talented guy, Mensik. Mensik is the real. That would be fun. Or I don't know. It sounds a bit silly to say it now, but if by maybe some miracle Mensik could catch up to Sinner and Alcaraz, it would be fun to have another big three with these three guys because all three of these guys are so talented and so different too in a lot of ways. Mensik definitely, in my mind, has a bigger serve than Alcaraz for sure, and he might end up having a better serve than Sinner. I don't know, but he at least has the potential to. Sinner has got a great serve at this point, but um, but they're pretty different from each other, all of them, and I don't think Mensik will do it, but he is a great player. What a volley, though! I mean, he is full of talent. This guy, 30 all. Yeah, you get a bit ahead of ourselves saying comparing him to Sinner and Alcaraz. He's not even in their world yet, but he is a great player, so we'll go from there. Clear top 3 potential, in my opinion. Potential. I don't think that's even that controversial. I mean, he's clearly has such, or I guess it's controversial, but that's my opinion. The very least top 10 or top 5 potential. Top 3 means that you're quite good. But Novak will probably be out of the conversation. So Sinner, Alcaraz, and then you need a third spot. Zverev is still around, I guess. Backhand volley. Mensik might get it. Oh, cross court. Nearly a great shot. I mean, it was a great shot from Mensik. Sure, I thought for sure he was going to go down the line. I don't know if it would have been a winner had he done so, but he almost got a winner going the other way, even though Novak was right there, just because I think Novak started guessing the other way. 4-1. Come back on. Yep. Let's see. One insane point by Novak. Yeah. Mensik still is a long way behind Sinner and Alcaraz, not even consistent yet. No, you're totally right. What's a normal Anthony breakfast? Yeah, I mean oatmeal, fruits, occasionally like some eggs or something like that. Cereal with milk, sometimes. Occasionally some eggs with sausage. Yeah. I really enjoy Chick-fil-A breakfast if I'm looking for like a fast food breakfast. Don't know if you guys have Chick-fil-A near you, but Georgia is where Chick-fil-A originated. We have loads of them, and Chick-fil-A has great breakfast options. Chick-fil-A biscuit, chicken biscuit, or chicken minis are so good from Chick-fil-A. I don't go to other like breakfast options that often, like JR's or Waffle House or IHOP, or I don't know if IHOP's even really breakfast, but I don't eat out at those very often. But yeah, that's usually my breakfast, I'd say. Some yogurt maybe as well. Some toast. Sandwich. I don't know. Dean Love. Mensik with an ace down the tee. Mensik's a tall guy too. At least he looks tall. Maybe like 6'4", 6'5". Gotta be at least 6'3". 6'4", yeah, that seems about right. Forehand cross court, back into Mensik, back and slice Novak. Back and slice of Mensik. Forehand Novak, forehand Mensik. That's in the net. 15 all. I'm predicting a breadstick. I think Novak breaks then holds. That's my feeling. I feel like Mensik's going to start focusing on the third set. Maybe a little bit too much, or maybe by his choice, but I say Novak breaks then holds. Serve goes long. Very intimidating practice of a return by Novak. That would have been a winner had it been in. Backhand! What a shot from Novak Djokovic. Hell of a shot. That's got to be his second best shot of the tournament, only behind that crazy one that he hit against Mickelson. Hell of a shot from Novak. What a strong left hand, and slid into it beautifully. Just a great athlete. 30 all. Snahil, I may have to apologize for that moving comment about who moves better, because that was ridiculous from Novak. He still moves like absolutely remarkable. What a shot. What a pass. Yeah, that was nuts. Backhand down the line, forehand of Novak, backhand of Mensik. Forehand of Novak, inside out, backhand slice of Mensik. Up high, swing volley. It's a smart shot. Pass. Point of the match, or rally of the match. Anyway, 30-40. The way Layani pronounces the score sounds ridiculous sometimes. Just a 30-40. I was like, why can't you just say the score normal? Second serve. My prediction might age well. Backhand right off the baseline. Forehand of Novak. Cross court. Forehand of Mensik. Forehand of Novak. It's off the baseline. It's a forehand shank, and it does age well. 5-1 for Novak. Novak with a strong game there. Really good game. 5-1. All right. You can already start to get your predictions out for what the third set score is going to be. I'm going to stick with my prediction for what I said at the start. 7-5 Novak in the third. That was my prediction to start off the stream, and that's what I'm going to stick by with. Second set's been much shorter than the first set's been in terms of match time. That often happens, though, if you play a really long set, that the second set is not quite as long, even if it, no matter who it's rather one-sided for. 15 all. Novak misses that back and wide. God mode game from Novak from another planet. Love it. Serve down T. It's going to be too good here. Novak down the line. 30-15. It's fun watching Djokovic play. I like watching Djokovic play. All of the big three brought something unique to the game that's going to be really hard to, I don't know. What an iconic era of the game. All three guys so different. Roger, Rafa, and Novak. Such a good contrast between the three of them. Then Andy, such a good addition in there as well. It's going to be an impossible era to follow up on. Bat, forehand chip. That's in the ground. 40-15. It is sad to see. I remember as a kid growing up being so excited for Federer and Nadal matches. Like they were the event. And to see them now both will be retired, it's sad. Double set point here. Novak. First serve in the net. Sad times for the game. Big serve down the tee. Bit of a statement with a big second serve. Novak says, you're not going to have any pleasure returning my second serve either, not just my first. All right, we have a third set to play for. I'm going to be off for 1 minute. I'll be back to call this third set. Don't go anywhere. Novak still moves incredible, but doesn't want too many long rallies for conserving energy. Yeah, for sure. Not just for the match, but for the tournament, right? There's difference between movement and engaging long rallies. Yeah, no, for sure. Here we go. Forehand of Mensik, forehand of Novak, forehand of Mensik, forehand of Djokovic. Back into Mensik. Forehand of Djokovic, forehand Mensik. Forehand of Djokovic, long rally to start us off. Neck cord goes in from Mensik. Forehand Djokovic. Forehand of Mensik going forehand rally, forehand down the line. Backhand Mensik. Back into Djokovic. Backhand slice of Mensik. Backhand slice Djokovic. Backhand Mensik. Cross court. The backhand of Djokovic. Backhand Mensik hits the net cord again, goes in. Rally just can't end. Forehand cross court is a winner from Djokovic. Good reception from the Chinese crowd. How many shots was that? That felt like 30 shots. 33 shots. One of the longest rallies of this season, maybe. Both guys were not too keen to come to the net, I feel like. Big serve. Oh, wide. 33 shot rally followed by a 1-shot rally there. Big serve. Another ace. Ooh. Late call from Leone. Backhand, forehand of Novak, forehand of Mensik. Forehand Djokovic, backhand Mensik. Backhand of Djokovic, backhand slice of Mensik. Forehand of Djokovic. Down the line, backhand Mensik. Forehand Mensik now, huge. Rocking bullets from the baseline, 40-15. Serve out wide, forehand of Mensik picked up to the backhand Novak. That's in the net. Bad volley from Novak, 1-0. I'm excited, honestly, for this third set. This is what I wanted out of this match. Let me know set predictions, set scores, predictions of any kind. You don't even have to predict something about the match. Predict something else. Let me know set 3 predictions. I'm sticking with 7-5 Novak. But Mensik is giving him a run for his money. Serve Novak missed wide. Forehand of Novak down the middle. Forehand of Mensik. Misses long. I do feel like this match has been like definitely some great shots from both players, but definitely a lot of spotty shots as well. I mean, Novak's hit some very uncharacteristic, unforced errors. Wow, second serve ace down the tee. 30 love. There's some uncharacteristic volley errors, backhand errors, drop shot errors, drop shots that don't even make to the net. He's at a couple times. So Novak definitely not at his best. This is less reminiscent of his last couple matches and more reminiscent of, say, like March, April this year. A little bit better than that, probably, because he was at Indian Wells. He was struggling, but 40 love, good swing volley, set up a easy smash. Serve from Novak, forehand to Mensik, backhand Djokovic. Goes long, 40-15. Serve out wide. I think Mensik thinks it's good too. Mensik and Djokovic both feel like they think that this serve is in, and it looked in. That's so far in. The line calls are disturbingly bad. I mean, the line calls have to be better than this. This is something else. Just get automatic Hawkeye so we don't have to deal with this. I mean, that's a yellow card on the line judge. And Leone as well. That's far from Leone. Backhand of Novak to the backhand of Mensik. Backhand slice of Novak. Backhand slice of Mensik. Forehand of Novak. Forehand of Mensik. Backhand Djokovic. Cross court. Backhand slice Mensik. Forehand of Novak cross court. Forehand. High quality rally here. That goes out long for Mensik, left 15. Novak takes your legs, then he takes the soul. I mean, the line judges are making a mess of this. This is like correction by the line judge after I think he called it. I mean, come on. What is going on? This is Leone's got to step up here. I mean, the line judges as well. It's like, I don't know. Forehand inside out, back in Novak, back into Mensik, forehand to Djokovic, forehand to Mensik, back in Djokovic, back into Mensik. That's in the net, left 30. Anthony has had a long season. Maybe the ATP schedule is too crowded. I mean, it's less on me than the players. We need a off season. We don't have an off season at this point. It's crazy. I thought Mensik almost hit it before it bounced, but it's another challenge here. It feels like it's becoming a way out, but that's just mistrust of the line judge's calls at that point, or Novak wanting to take some time. I don't know, but first serve misses long from Mensik. Wow. Double fault for Mensik. Double faults have not been good for Mensik. 15-40. Back in, way up high. Forehand Mensik, put away. 30-40, one saved. First serve in the net from Mensik. Second serve coming here. Kick serve back in Novak. Back into Mensik. Forehand Novak. Forehand to Mensik. Forehand Novak. Missed wide. Two saved. Deuce. Very, very important game. Some would argue that Mensik needs it. Serve out wide. What a return. Oh my God. Jeez, these line calls are making this impossible. I mean, come on. That's a get another line judge. That's another bad call from, I think, the same line judge who's watching that service call, right? It's just that was splat on the line. It's like what even? Forehand inside out, back in Novak, back in Mensik, forehand Djokovic, forehand to Mensik, back in Djokovic, back into Mensik, back in Djokovic, back in Mensik down the line, forehand Djokovic. Great stuff from Mensik. Very strong mentally to regroup after the point before. Advantage to Mensik. Footballers have been complaining about it as well. They don't think players need rest. It's like they don't think players need rest. Yeah, exactly, Sean. And people will say they play exhibitions during the off season, but like my argument to that is the reason they play exhibitions during the off season is because they need that's their match play practice going into the regular season. If the off season was like 3 months long, then they would just be like resting and going on vacation and then doing the important stuff as well, which is like work on their different shots and stuff that we used to have at some points. Like the off season's got to be longer than it is. Serve here, Mensik. Down the tee goes long. Second serve. Backhand down the line. Backhand slice. Great shot. Forehand goes behind and backhand inside out. Forehand's in the net. 2-1. Great stuff. Saves a couple break points there as well. If I was one of the players, I would complain to the umpire about these line calls. I don't know if somebody will, but this is getting ridiculous. They're playing Take On Me in the crowd. That is one of the best songs ever. Every time Take On Me comes on, it makes me happy. By Aha, I think. The people sing Take On Me. Do they have any other songs? I know that one. Do they have literally any other songs? That'd be hilarious. They just release one song in their career. They're like, okay, you know what? We're going to release an absolute banger hit. It's the only song we're ever going to release. I don't know. Maybe they're like even that like a relatively popular band. I just don't really know about them. Yeah, I haven't heard any of these other songs I'm seeing by them. Take On Me is like what Sweet Caroline wants to be. Anyway, back to the tennis. Mensik challenging the call. Sweet Caroline is the most annoying song ever. Take On Me is a banger. That's what it is. Okay, finally a good call from the line judges. Called that in. 15 love. Serve down the tee. Forehands in the net. 30 love. Second serve coming here from Djokovic. Serve out wide. Great return from Mensik. 30-15. Backhand down the line. Forehand of Novak. Back into Mensik. Forehand Djokovic. Goes into the backhand of Mensik. Strong forehand from Mensik to the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand inside out. Right off the baseline, Djokovic. Forehand. Backhand. It's in the net. 30 all. That shot was close there, the one that landed on the baseline from Novak, but it was called good. Anyway, Mensik wins the point regardless. 30 all. Back in Novak. Back into Mensik down the line. Forehand Novak. Forehand to Mensik. Forehand Novak. Back into Mensik. Oh, what a forehand from Novak. Outrageous angle found there out of nowhere. Carving that out beautifully. That came out of nowhere. Outrageous shot. Found a absolute angle from middle of the court. Serve down the tee. That's too good. 2-2. Forehand pickup from Novak. The forehand to Mensik. Backhand Novak. Forehand to Mensik. That's in the net. Love 15. That yawn by Anthony was so big it looked like a Kermit the Frog one. Swearing on the channel, Sean. Backhand Forehand cross court, forehand of Mensik, forehand of Novak, inside out, back in Mensik. That's in the net again. Love 30. First takes your legs, then he takes your soul. Seems like that kind of a situation. How much can Mensik dig deep here? Forehand inside out, backhand lob. Smash Mensik. That was a tough overhead. You're not going to get a much tougher overhead than that, where the overhead is the right shot. And that was sweet. Serve goes long. The second serve here from Mensik. Backing down down the line from Novak. That goes out from the backhand cross from Mensik, and it's 15-40. Can Mensik produce another comeback from down 15-40? Big ace from Mensik. How fast was that? Just easy power. Oh, I like that. Total tournament aces. Showing the total aces that have been hitting the tournament. 1,857. That's like insane. I wonder if that counts doubles or just singles. Yeah, it's worth a challenge from Mensik. It is out. Second serve for Mensik. Some time to think about the moment, let it in before hitting the second serve. Back in Djokovic, the back in Mensik. It's going to go long. 3-2. It might have been better not to challenge, to be fair. But, and it doesn't matter now. Backhand goes long, 3-2. You gamble? I do not. We do have people coming in, though, every now and again who do bet. But I don't myself, no. I think I'm pretty good at, like, predictions for tennis, so I don't think I'd be bad at it. But I can't start doing that because I get addicted to everything way too easily. So I just try to stray away from anything that is a pretty common addiction and is addictive like that. It's all the aces from 2020. Novak 3 games away from semifinals. Yeah, can't even keep track of what round it is. Would that be the 10th meeting against Novak? Fritz Djokovic? Yeah, 10th meeting. First one since their Australian Open encounter. That was actually pretty close. I mean, it was over 4 hours long. I wonder what's the... Actually, I know the answer to what I was about to say. Forehand, back in Novak. Back into Mensik, cross court. Back into Novak for a pass. Back in volley, misses from Mensik. 15 love. Maybe just losing a little bit of the edge here, Mensik. What I was going to say is I wonder how big the biggest deficit is in a head-to-head before the opponent finally wins a match. Like 13-0, 15-0. But then I remember Gerolaitis' famous quote, and that's definitely what it is. Forehand, backhand, the backhand of Mensik. That goes out. 30 love. Gerolaitis against Connors. Connors up 16-0. And Gerolaitis says, nobody beats Vitor Gerolaitis 17 times in a row. Oh, what a return. Came out of nowhere. Miracle return to serve for Mensik. Showing off some skills. 30-15. I want to see a replay of that return to serve. He hit that as a 360 one-handed backhand, and it just went like the net coverage. The fact that he got over the net the way he hit it was crazy. So low. Forehand pickup from Novak. Forehand inside out. Mensik went for it, but misses it. Just a bit of a shake of the head from Mensik, just not positive body language. Talking about addictions, English schools are banning mobile phones. What's it like in the U.S.? I haven't heard that, but is Novak cramping or something? Novak feeling stretching out his legs, which is interesting. Huh. Hopefully Novak is okay. Yeah, I mean the U.S. everybody's completely addicted to their phones. So that would be a good thing. I think the less that we can have phones be intertwined with everything that we do, the better. Although I say that, but also, I mean, it helped me get through high school without going insane. So I don't think they should necessarily be banned, but backhand down the line, forehand to Mensik. That goes wide, 4-2. Interesting moment there from Novak feeling out the leg before, because even if he's okay for this match, you kind of wonder for the semis and the final. He did lose in the semifinals of a Masters event earlier this year. He lost to Casper in Monte Carlo. Maybe could be something to pick up Mensik spirits. It should be. Solid ace there from Mensik. Serving performance has been outstanding from Jakub. He has fought from down a break earlier in this match. Quick service game here from Mensik. 40 love. 14th, a whopping 14th ace of the match for Mensik. Pretty outstanding. Big serve sets up a big forehand into the open court, cross court, 4-3. Especially considering that almost the majority of those aces have come in the first set and the third set. I mean, the 14 aces is pretty ridiculous. The guy can serve. Djokovic has a 19-0 head-to-head with Monfils, yeah. Yeah, and Rafa has a like 18-0 against Gasquet, I think. Serve from Novak. Forehand to Mensik. Cross court. Forehand to Novak. Goes in forehand to Mensik down the line. Back in Novak's in the net. Love 15. I really think Novak, with feeling out his legs like that, kind of was exactly the only thing that would have kept Mensik mentally in the match at that moment. I felt like Mensik was probably mentally fading a little bit. I feel like that brought him right back, because that's a bit of hope, is what that is. Second serve here from Djokovic. Forehand just hitting the top of the net from Mensik. Novak is 7 points away from the victory. Forehand to Mensik. Forehand to Djokovic. Back in Mensik. Cross court. Goes to the back end Djokovic. Back in slice of Mensik. Forehand Djokovic. Cross court. Forehand to Mensik. Back forehand Djokovic. Back in Mensik. That's in the net. 30-15. Crowd chanting for Mensik. I guess the crowd just often goes for the underdog to see more of a match. Second serve. Big point in my opinion. Forehand goes long from Mensik. 40-15. Once again, please don't forget to like the stream if you have been enjoying it. Would be appreciated. Appreciate you guys joining in. And yeah, thanks for checking out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe as well. It's a let, audibly announced by the crowd. Somebody yells let from the crowd. First serves in the net. Novak's first serve percentage doesn't feel like it's been very strong. I'm going to look in a minute, but forehand, cross court, forehand. Novak's a fantastic redirect. Forehand, inside out. Back in Novak down the line. Forehand to Mensik. The forehand Djokovic. Mensik forehand. The forehand to Djokovic way up high. Back in Mensik goes behind Novak. 40-30. Good. Good stuff. (141 km an hour on that shot. Forehand return. Forehand Djokovic. Mensik gets it. Forehand volley. Mensik good hustle, but can't get there. 5-3 for Novak. Mensik doing very well at getting serves back in play, I have to say. He's been doing very good at returning first serves throughout the match, but he's reading the game well. He's anticipating well. Mensik has all the signs of a quickly improving big talent that's going to be rocking the sport. So, a great performance from him no matter what. Mensik a career high of 64, but I'm sure that's high. He's higher in the live rankings after this performance. What is his ranking in the live rankings? Yeah, 51st. So, good stuff. Could drop down to 52nd actually because Cameron Norrie is on his heels, but yeah. Norrie is currently 52nd. He's playing at a challenger tournament this week. But anyway, right outside that top 50, and he's going way higher than that. Serve out wide for him, Novak. Backhand. The backhand of Djokovic. Drop shot. Novak gets it. Backhand lob. Oh, what a shot from Novak. That was sweet. Goes for the backhand smash drop shot. Goes for a backhand smash drop shot. Got hustled to the drop shot. It was a decent lob, but Novak with some sweet athleticism just crafts out around the outside of the ball and just beautiful. Sweet angle from out of the air from Novak. Serve Mensik. The backhand Djokovic. Backhand Mensik. Backhand Djokovic sliced. Sliced again. Backhand Novak goes down the line. Some sweet slices from Novak, but can't put away. 30 all. 30 all. How many more years will Novak play for? I don't think it's going to be as many as some people expect him to, personally. I think Novak retires 2026. That's my thought. I think Novak retires 2026. We'll see, though. Backhand for him, Novak. Cross court. Deuce. Listen, it's not completely unprecedented to play for much longer, though. Like, I was looking at the stats for oldest players to win titles in the Open era. And Pancho Gonzalez, one of the greatest players ever, Richard Gonzalez, won a title at 44 years old and 7 months in the Open era. Like, that's insane. Federer won Basel when he was like 38, which is close to what Novak's getting to. Rosewall, I think, won a title when he was like 41 or something. Maybe 43 even. So Novak could keep playing for a while. We'll see. And they have a lot more resources than they even had back then. Some huge backhands here from Mensik. Goes inside out. Close, but not quite. 2 points away for Djokovic. Yeah, I think that as well. He did talk about playing LA 2028. I think it's mind games. Novak likes doing that. He likes playing mind games, scaring the young gen, saying, I'm going to be here forever. I think he's just trying to maximize the most out of, like, just being like the GOAT and knowing that others are, like, the younger guys are scared of him. It's like, yeah, I'll be around. Forehand volley. Mensik is so good. Wow, right on top of it. Mensik still believes. You could tell in that volley that he still believes. And why shouldn't you? He was down 5-4 in the first set, came back. He knows Novak he's not playing the peak version of Novak here. It's not even particularly close. So forehand, Novak didn't get enough width off that forehand. Now that I'm looking at it again. Not nearly. But I'll say 2026 for Novak. I don't know where he calls it quits, but 2026. Forehand Mensik cross court. The forehand of Novak down the line. Backhand, that's in the ground. Deuce. Pat said earlier that Novak won't win a slam beyond 2026. Okay, interesting. Novak won't win a slam beyond 2026. Yeah, On my best bet, I don't think Novak wins a slam at this point. I think Novak has a decent chance of getting to the Wimbledon final next year. Outside of that, I kind of don't know if I see Novak um doing that much more at the slams. I hope I'm wrong, and I might be. He's still going to be one of the absolute favorites in Australia. He'll be one of the favorites wherever he plays next year, probably. But I kind of think 24 is might be it. We'll see though. He might have one more fairy tale run in him, and I mean he might have more than that too. So we'll see. Oh, sweet drop volley from Mensik, 5-4. Djokovic still playing a good level here in this tournament, and obviously won the Olympics. So I'm not out here saying that old man's finished or anything, but yeah, on my best bet, I'm gonna say it ends at 24. All right, one more game and Djokovic gets it. One hold separates him from the semis. Rafa's retirement is sad. You hate to see it. I it makes me sad about Rafa and Roger because it would be nice if Novak ahead of when he retires says like this is gonna be my final year on tour. I'm gonna try to make a farewell stop everywhere. Like that was cool when like David Ferrer did it and he went to like every tournament and he was like officially like this is gonna be my last year on tour. Like I would love if Novak does something like that. It's a bit sadder for me if it's like right before it happens. He's like, yeah, I've got one more tournament left. And we kind of knew it was coming, but still, still sad. It is cool that Rafa's last singles match on clay was against Novak. Just pretty coincidental in some regard. I did say at the start of the stream 6-4 7-5 for Novak. I kind of decided that it was going to be 7-5 as the stream went on, so but that is what I said at the start of the stream. I did say 3 sets Nole. I think that AO 25 is Nole's last chance to win a slam. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, by Wimbledon, he's going to be 38, and it's only going to get harder. And Sinner and Alcaraz are very strong at Wimbledon, so I understand that point of view. It seems like he can't beat Alcaraz at Wimbledon at this point, if last year's final is anything to judge by. Some better forehand hitting from Novak. I mean, his forehand's been good in this match, to be fair. But good forehand there from Novak. Gets the 30 love. Serve out wide, 40 love. Novak to get to another semifinal of a big event for the, let me see, 4,000th time in his career. 40 love. Three match points for Djokovic to end off the youngsters. Put in a valiant effort, to be fair. Sir, ace out wide. Novak Djokovic is in the semis of Shanghai. And there's no U.S. Open repeat. Alcaraz is out, but Djokovic is not. Good to see. Very nice interaction between Mensik and Djokovic. I can tell that Mensik takes a lot out of Djokovic and has been influenced by him a lot. I didn't hear exactly what Mensik said, but I heard something years old. So I'm assuming he was saying something like, I've been watching you since I was like 2 or 3 years old on TV or something, which is always nice. Djokovic through to the semifinals. He'll take on Taylor Fritz. I don't think... I keep saying this whenever Fritz takes on Djokovic, but Fritz against Djokovic in Australia was actually close. I'm not going to just go Novak gets to the semis, that's it. No, Novak gets to the final, that's it. I'm looking at... I think Novak will win, but I'm looking at that one with a little bit of interest, particularly because Fritz has been playing really well recently. Just got to the final of another big tournament at the US Open, so... Anyway, Novak will be the favorite. We know that. Yeah, I appreciate it, Joe. Thanks. Retirement should be a celebration, not a funeral. Yeah, that's true. Novak had any sense he'd retire just before he declines massively. It's easier said than done, though. Yeah, but I think that's the thing, though. As long as he feels like he can still win big tournaments, that's how long he's going to play. So the question is how long that is. For Roger, he won Miami like I said when he was like 38. Is that even right? Did he win Miami when he was 38? No, he won Basel when he was 38. He won Miami when he was 37. That was the last time he won a big tournament. He was 1 point away from winning Wimbledon, but we'll see. We'll see how long Novak goes. 2 more wins for 100 titles for Djokovic. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Novak is a different beast in China for whatever reason. All right, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Mensik versus Djokovic. I said a couple rounds ago it would be a classic. I also said it would be Novak in 3 sets. I said 6-4 in the third, so I got that. But Mensik, he's hell of a player. One hell of a player. I'm still all in on Mensik, and yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Good match by him. Novak not at his best, but he finds a way anyway, as we've seen a million times. See you guys for streams coming up. Definitely keep sure to check in for streams. We're going to have a lot of fun streams coming. A lot of fun stuff coming on this channel. Definitely keep Quality Shot Tennis in your mind. And please keep coming back. And yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Djokovic in a 3-set victory over Mensik. His first win since the retirement announcement of Rafa as well. But it's 3-set win. He's in through to the semis. Take on Taylor Fritz in, I think, tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then.